There I am, up on the stage, here I go, playing Stardew again. There I go, there I go. Welcome back to Stardew Valley. This is your host, longtime listener. Be sure to drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and comment below as we are waiting on it to load here for seemingly forever. So this is episode 16 of our series. We are on day 3 of our first summer, and the spirits are displeased with us today. So that kind of stinks because we had planned on doing some mining today, and that's not good. Oh, you see here's the task where you get a letter from Mayor Lewis. He says, I lost my lucky purple shorts. And he's telling me because he thinks he can trust me, even though, like, he's only known me for 4 weeks. But anyway, he's expecting me, or asking me, to find his lucky shorts and return them to him discreetly in all capital letters. So that, I guess, is an indication that wherever his shorts are, they probably should not have been there. And anyway, we will work on that later, and I don't want to give any spoilers on that. So anyway, on the plan, or on the agenda for today, we have to do our typical watering and possibly do some cutting of trees if we have time. We might go mining, although I'm kind of leaning away from that now since we've got a bad luck day. So since we had the earthquake overnight, I think what we will do is actually go up and explore the area around the train station. There's a spa up there and the train station, so that might be something we can use today to kind of just kill some time. There's also like trees and rocks up there that you can take out to free up space for possible foraged goods, but it is pretty well out of the way. And one thing about the train, actually, that if you get lucky and you're kind of on the northern side of the map, every once in a while you will hear a train coming through town. And I showed you Marnie's heart situation. We've got 1 heart with her. We talked about needing to try and befriend her. We want to get her to 2 hearts, and you'll find out later as to why that is. But anyway, the train, you'll hear the train whistle blow, and that basically means that the train is coming through town. So if you get to the train station area quick enough, you'll see the train rumbling by, and fairly often it will drop resources. So, you know, a lot of times it's like ore and stone. Every once in a while you get something pretty cool out of it, but sometimes you get up there and it doesn't drop anything, which is kind of frustrating. But anyway, that's something that we may encounter at some point in the near future, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, that's pretty much what we'll kind of have on the agenda for today. Nothing else super critical that I think we need to accomplish. I mean, unfortunately, watering the crops takes darn near close to 5 hours just by itself. And with that said, you know, any day that it doesn't rain for right now, we're not getting off the farm until about 11 o'clock. And, you know, by that time it makes it pretty hard to get a whole lot else done, in bulk at least. So, like, if we wanted to try and go to the mines, we might get down 10 levels if we went straight to the farm to the mines. Because we're not getting up there till about noon. And, you know, it can take, you know, 4 or 5 hours to get down 5 levels if you don't have very good luck. So, with that said, one thing I absolutely need to get done is to upgrade the watering can. So the watering can upgrade will make it easier for me to, you know, quickly knock out the crops, but also So you can water 3 tiles directly in front of you whenever you upgrade it to the copper watering can. Also, though, your quantity of doses in the watering can goes from 40 to 55, so that helps as well. So then we need a day of rain, and unfortunately we haven't had it yet, which kind of sucks. So anyway, where was I going with that? I don't think I was going anywhere else with that. That was pretty much it. But anyway, we want to get the watering can upgrade complete, but we need a day of rain to do it. A lot of times in the summer when it rains, it's a thunderstorm. So at some point we might need to look into crafting lightning rods. I can't remember what they take. I want to say it's like bat wings and something else. Maybe iron ore? Anyway, we will want to get a couple of those crafted at some point so that when we do get storms, we can have those ready to go and get some battery packs out of it. The battery pack you get and you use it to unlock a little quest that it's not like critical that you do this early in the game. And honestly, I can't even remember what the... Actually, I think the prize is that you get access to the casino in the desert, which is not really a big deal. I rarely take advantage of it. But anyway, that's what that's all about. And we will see more of that many episodes down the road. So we got a decent bit of foraging done there down at the beach, so that's good. And what else do we need to do today? Well, Leah accidentally stepped on a bug, and that's all that she had to say to us today. Kind of just like, "Hey Leah, how you doing? I stepped on a bug by accident." Good talk. We'll see you later. So anyway, so we come down here to Clint's. We're going to process a couple of geodes here, and then what are we gonna do? I think we might just kind of head north and get up to the train station area, and that will take up most of our day. Oh, I do need to swing in here to the museum and drop off our chicken statue, and you get a prize for it, I believe, which is another chicken statue that you can put in your farmstead right there. Chicken statue. So anyway, sorry, I'm getting a text message here. So I played golf earlier today, and I'm a decent golfer. I would consider myself a good amateur golfer. And when I say amateur, I'm not talking like the amateurs that you see in a tour called an amateur tour. I'm talking like just a dude that goes out and plays golf every once in a while. My handicap is officially 6.9 as of September 1st of this year, which is pretty good. That basically means on a good round, I'm gonna probably shoot in the high 70s. Anyway, usually around like 82 or somewhere in that neighborhood, but that's neither here nor there. So we're up here. I forgot about this. We're at Robin's. We wanted to move the silo, and I was like, where's the button to say that's where I want to put it? Because the only button I see is this one down here that looks like you would be canceling that action. So I went back in. It was still where I want it, so I think that does the trick. And then I'm going to just kind of shuffle through some of the other buildings here. There was the well, the barn, the coop. You can get another shipping bin, and then a slime hutch that I don't even know if I'll do. Then there's the stable, which we will definitely do. The fish pond, we will definitely do. We might do like 4 or 5 or 6 fish ponds at some point. And then the shed, which we will also definitely do. I don't know if I'll do a mill or not. To me, they don't really create a ton of value. They're just one of those things that sometimes I'll put on the farm just to, take up some space and help with aesthetics. There are 3 of those buildings that not only will we build, we will also upgrade, and then we might even have multiples of a couple of them. But anyway, we will end up upgrading our barns, our coops, and our shed. I don't know if we'll have more than one shed. I know a lot of people that play this game like a lot will end up having multiple sheds, and they decorate them on the inside, and they have a theme and all that jazz. I don't think we're going to do that on this particular playthrough, unless it's like we're doing this for a while, and then kind of after a while we're just kind of looking for stuff to do. So we mess around with that stuff. But anyway, that actually brings me back to a couple of things that I was going to eat that salmon berry because I was out of energy, and I was thinking about coming up here and like smashing some rocks and hitting the trees, but then I remembered, oh wait, there's a spa up here. So you go in here, you go into the men's room, or the women's room if you're a female. There's a weight room up there in the top. I don't know what's in the women's room because I've never played as a female in-game. But anyway, you sneak around down here, hop into the old sauna or spa, and then you just sit there, and then your energy bar just shoots up. So you see it there, re-energizing you. And so you have to stay still, because if you move, it stops, which I don't understand, but whatever. That's just part of the game, so deal with it. But I was gonna say about like late game content and such. I mentioned the other day that I might start streaming on Twitch, but I decided against that idea for 2 reasons. One, you really need to have pretty good bandwidth to be able to live stream and not drop a bunch of frames, and I do not. Our internet is, it's not the worst, but where my computer is actually away from where my router and my extender are, and so I don't get the best internet performance in this part of the house. So I just decided, you know what, forget it. We'll just keep doing it on YouTube. I don't care enough to like really go out of my way to try and build the viewer base that way. So anyway, as you can see here, I've got a full inventory, and I really want the wood. I don't need the clay so much, so I decided to just trash it, and then we'll end up cutting the rest of the trees here. We're gonna have to leave some other stuff behind, like the fodder, or what's it called, fiber, and maybe some pine cones or whatever, but not a big deal. And again, this is something, oh yeah, the sap too. So I want the sap, and now I'm like, oh man, what else do I throw out? So I throw out this mineral here. Probably cost me like 80 bucks, and I start thinking like, is there anything else here that's less valuable to me? And ultimately I go with the mineral to trash it. So anyway, this is the train station area. Up there to the top of the screen is the train station itself, and there's also a little cave in the top right corner that eventually you get a quest, I think, from the wizard that leads you up there, and you do some things and eventually get access to it. And I believe it's a witch's lair in there, or witch's swamp, whatever you want to call it. So, what else were we talking about? Yeah, so we're probably not going to do Twitch. And along that front, one thing that I was actually kind of starting to think about is how long we actually want to do this particular series. Because I started doing this because I got kind of excited when I started seeing news about the 1.5 update that's coming. And when that update finally releases, if we're still doing this series, I'm debating stopping and starting a new series that is like just, you know, from the 1.5, you know, starting a fresh farm in the with the 1.5 update. So if anybody out there is listening and cares, vote in the comments as to how you think we should do it. Like, should we start a new one? We might even have to wait until that update is kind of announced as to when it's going to happen, and then maybe take the vote. Because it might be like, oh, I'm at a critical juncture in this particular playthrough, like about to complete the community center or something like that, and that may have obviously some impact on what we decide to do. But anyway, give me your thoughts. A penny for your thoughts. Maybe even 2 pennies if you are on PayPal. What else shall we discuss here? So we're back at the farm. It's 8:20. Not a whole lot left to do today, so now we're just kind of trying to dig through stuff and figure out what we need to do to prepare for tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, plans for tomorrow, it is Jazz's birthday. We'll need to swing by there and give her a gift, and we'll try and visit Haley as well while we're at it. And I think daffodils will do the trick for both of those objectives. So we'll grab a couple of those hopefully before we leave the farm, and then swing down to see those too. And then it's not going to rain tomorrow if you remember the forecast from earlier, so we won't be able to upgrade the watering can again. So we'll maybe do some mining, perhaps. We might chop some wood, I'm not really sure. But anyway, the 2 main things on the agenda for tomorrow are Jazz's birthday, and there you see we have 0 hay in our silo. So we're going to go actually just cut some grass, and it turns it into hay and sticks it in your silo automatically. So anyway, we'll visit Jazz and Haley tomorrow. And since we're at this point now just kind of killing time, actually one thing I want to mention, so you see me kind of cutting grass but leaving patches in my wake, and that is because you want to leave grass so that it will, one spot of grass has a certain percentage chance of spawning additional grass each day. So if you kind of spread out what you leave behind, it's going to spawn kind of toward each other and fill in the gaps. That's my general strategy there. So anywho, I was about to say that we are at the point in the episode where it is the moment where I kind of run out of stuff to say, and that means, hang on one second. Sorry, I had an interruption that I had to address. So anyway, that brings us to the fun fact of the day. And today's fun fact of the day is brought to you by Clint's Blacksmith Shop. Guaranteed to be the best blacksmith in all of Pelican Town. Perhaps even all of Stardew Valley. So, the fun fact is that humans have jumped farther than horses in terms of like world records. The world record, the Olympic world record for the longest long jump is 8.95 meters by a man named Mike Powell. And supposedly the longest recorded jump by a horse is 6.1 meters. So it's not even close, y'all. It's like 2.5 meters, more than 2.5 meters difference. So I don't know if that's really accurate, but I read it on the internet. And so that's what we are going to say is the fun fact of the day. And it is now midnight on our first day of the episode. And so that is going to do it for day 1 after we drop a beat there. So that was a pretty productive day all in all. I mean, I wish we could have gotten to the mines. Ooh, we leveled up our mining skill. So we're actually going to choose 1 ore additional per vein. The other option was that you would get more gems, but I don't care about gems. Basically, gems mean money down the road, but we aren't going to need money, but we will need a bunch of ore. So that's a big one there. That'll help us this season because we need to collect a bunch of ore for our sprinklers and tappers and some upgrades. So anyway, you saw there on the forecast yet again, no rain tomorrow. And actually, now that I see this living off the land advertisement or episode here, it actually kind of gives me the idea of maybe we'll go fishing the next day or two and save mining for a little deeper into the season. But anyway, the reason we need to go fishing is there are a bunch of summer fish that we need to catch. I actually kind of looked this up the other day, and here's the list of fish that we're going to try and catch this season. Puffer fish, tuna, red mullet, octopus, which will be really hard, y'all. The red snapper, super cucumber, flounder, tilapia, rainbow trout, pike, dorado. Still need a bream for the community center, which we could have caught last season. In fact, I think we did, but I don't know what we did with it actually. Anyway, sturgeon and a wood skip. So that's a bunch of fish. Most of those, about half of those, are ocean fish, which kind of stinks because I don't really like going down to the ocean and fishing because it's way out of the way, but it will net us some seaweed at least, hopefully. So you know, it's kind of a win-win, and I don't necessarily need to catch all of those fish. You know, the ones that I need to catch are the ones that you have to put in the community center. The rest I just kind of want to knock out if I can, so that I can complete the list of fish caught at some point. And realistically, we probably won't ever catch all of the fish. I never have done it because I am not the best fisherman, and it is really tough to catch some of the legendary fish. I've never caught the legend fish. It's like, I think you have to catch it in the mountain lake, and it's a certain season, certain time of day. You have to be completely leveled up on your fishing skill. You have to have the iridium rod, I think. It's just a whole bunch of things that have to line up right, and then you got to actually catch it once it bites, which is extremely difficult. So anyway, fishing is something that's probably going to be on the agenda for the next episode. And what we might actually do to help with that long list of fish we want to try and catch is just go ahead and buy the fishing rod upgrade, which I think is a fiberglass rod. So there is an iridium rod that becomes available at some point. I don't think it's available yet, and you might have to actually buy the fiberglass rod before it becomes available. So one way or another, the fiberglass rod is like $1,500 or $2,000. It's not super expensive, so we can probably afford it tomorrow, depending on what we find for sale at the traveling cart, because tomorrow is Friday. So again, here we are. It's pushing 11 o'clock. We're still just wrapping up watering. So now we know, at least on a regular day, with this watering can and this many crops, it's going to take us until about 11 o'clock to water, or roughly 5 hours. And that'll become important because there'll be some days where I decide to water at night, like after I've done the other stuff that I want to do, so that I know, like, okay, if I want to go mining and I want to just spend a ton of time up in the mines, I know, okay, if I leave the mines by like 7 o'clock at night, that would mean, like, if I were to start watering right that moment, I'd be done by midnight. So I can leave at 7, be back at the farm by like 8, and still make it to bed before 2. So that's why it's kind of good sometimes to keep tabs on how long it takes you to do certain tasks, especially when it's a big chunk like that. So, alright, here's Jazz. She's like, I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. And then I give her a birthday gift, and she's like, ooh, this is great. So she's up to 2 hearts. While we're down here, pop in and say hello to Miss Marty. And how are we doing on her relationship at this point? Still 1 heart. And I am like, we gotta speed this up. So I give her a salmon berry, thinking, you know, I've given salmon berries to Linus and she liked it, and then her reaction was like, oh, I guess I'll take that. So I looked it up afterwards, and she actually does not like salmon berries. So that did more harm than good, unfortunately. And I actually went back, so I looked up, hang on a second, I looked up salmonberry, and there's only like a few people that do like it. And that list includes, hang on a second, where'd it go? Gifting. Demetrius, Jody, Kent, Leah, Linus, Pam, Robin, Sandy, and Shane. Now, Kent and Sandy we have not met yet because Kent is introduced after the first year. He's off at the war right now, and he's Jody's husband, and he comes back next year. And then Sandy works at the Oasis store in the desert, and so we won't meet her until we unlock the desert. So, but anyway, that's your list of people that actually like the salmonberry, and then there are a few people that actually hate it. Caroline, Elliot, Evelyn, and Harvey all hate salmonberries. But here's a kicker. Alright. Harvey hates salmonberries. However, Harvey loves salmonberry wine. So, what is that about? I guess he is a closet alcoholic and nobody knew it. He's like, if it's got booze in it, I will take it. I don't even care if it's salmonberry wine. I love it. So anyway, that was one of the stranger cutscenes in the whole game right there that y'all just saw, by the way. Emily is like, apparently she's kind of decided that her and I were meant to cross paths in some form or fashion. Not really sure what that means, but whatever. Kind of creepy that she's having these weird psychedelic dreams about me. Where am I going here? Maybe foraging? Oh, no. We were going to look for Haley down by the beach. So, give her that, and she's like, oh, if you hang out in the sun long enough, your hair will turn lighter. It's like, oh, okay. Good talk. Now we got a couple geodes we'll crack here, and you see I've got my staircase. I talked about bringing that up to the mines so that when you get to that level that's all the monsters, you have it on your person and can just plop it down and skip that level. And of course, now that I have it, I probably won't see that level for like the rest of time because it's just taunting me. But anyway, it's good to have. Staircases are especially good to have when you get to the mines up in the desert, because there are some wicked monsters up there. So they can really do a number on you if you're not equipped with the right sword, or if you suck at fighting like I do. So yeah, I mean, it's 2 o'clock. We probably have enough time to get down 5 levels in the mines. By that time, it'll probably be pushing, 7 or so, and then that'll probably do it for the day. So, remember we got that lead rod last time, which is a big improvement in terms of my weaponry. Even though it swings really slow and is kind of leaves you vulnerable after you swing it, if I do it right, it should be better. And as soon as I say that, I get in an encounter with a ghost, and only a ghost, and I still can't even hit it. So, fighting is, again, not my strong suit. Alright, while we are down here in the mines now, I will kind of talk about my general plans for the next episode. We know it's not going to rain tomorrow. So, if we wake up tomorrow and it's calling... Come on, kill this thing. If we wake up tomorrow and it's calling for rain the next day, we will upgrade the watering can. And then, other things on the agenda. So tomorrow is going to be a big day because it's Friday and we want to get to the traveling cart. That's one thing. We also want to go and buy the upgraded fishing rod. Also, on the farm, we will have our wheat ready for harvest. And if we get really lucky, that may yield us not only enough wheat to do the community center, which that part won't take a ton of luck. It might also yield us enough hay to put in the community center. So you need 10 of each of those. And when you harvest wheat, you also get some hay out of it, because you have to swing a scythe to get it, and sometimes it just drops both. And I don't know what the frequency is in general, but like I said, if we get real lucky, we might get enough of both of those to drop in the community center. So another thing that we're going to try and do tomorrow, possibly, is the community center explosion version 2.0, because we got a bunch of stuff that we can take up there. I did a little bit of research or homework again on this, and from what I know of right now, that we can, you know, try to drop off at the community center tomorrow is a spice berry, grape, and sweet pea, and that will actually get us the spring foraging bundle and get us spring seeds that we can sell, and I think you get like $1,000 for those, so that'll be nice. And then, did we already get an oak resin? Or does that mean... I think we already have an oak resin, and we can donate that. Then we got a morel mushroom we can donate. I think I have a crystal fruit, which we can donate. I know we got a wild plum and a blackberry. We've got a frozen geode stored away. We have a chub. We have sea urchin, and I think we have a sea urchin, and then red mushroom, I believe we have, and all of those things can be donated. So that's a pretty good list right there, and we'll really cut into the bulletin board and the pantry rooms, respectively. So that's why I'm thinking, like, tomorrow, between the traveling cart, going and getting the fiberglass rod. We'll need to plant some more melons after we harvest the wheat, and we'll actually put down the little star fruit. We have one star fruit seed, so we'll put it down as well, and then do the CC run, and then maybe some fishing, which by that time, honestly, we'll be lucky if we can catch, you know, the one fish that I might actually go for is the sturgeon, because the sturgeon is the only one that we have to go to the mountain lake to get. So we might do that. And let me actually look it up to see when we can catch that fish. So hang tight here. You can catch it in any weather, so that's good. It says it's less common during rainy winter days. Come on, Wiki. It doesn't even rain in the winter. So what's the deal here? So it is a 78 difficulty. That's going to be a problem. That means that thing is going to jump around like cray-cray. But, okay, so it's available in the summer, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. in any weather, but the difficulty is 78. So we might have to spend several hours trying to catch that, and even, like, you know, not, you know, we'll get it on the hook, but then not reel it in a couple of times because of how hard it is to catch. So that actually kind of makes me wonder if tomorrow what we shouldn't do is go do my stuff around town first, you know, including the trying to catch the sturgeon, and then come back to the farm after. See, that spiceberry is still there. We forgot to get it yesterday, so we got to try and come back and get that. I think I still have one already at the farm, but we'll grab that one here in a second. But anyway, crap, what was I talking about? Oh, tomorrow. If we go do all that other stuff, you know, worst case scenario, we're fishing until like 7 o'clock trying to finally catch the stupid sturgeon. And if we don't, we still have time to make it back to the farm and water our crops. Because that would be, like I said, it'd be 7 o'clock and it takes us 5 hours to water, which would put us at midnight, plus however long it takes us to get from the mountain lake to the farm, which is not 2 hours. Oh yeah, and there's our oak resin. So we will collect that. And I think I misplanted a couple of the trees down there in the bottom where they are right next to each other. So this might actually be a good experiment to see if they will still grow that way. Because I was under the impression that there had to be a space in between. But we have two down there that look like they're side by side and have grown to the sapling phase. So we'll see what happens there. Anyway. Tomorrow's going to be a busy day, y'all. It's going to be crazy, and I'm going to be really, really mad if we do all of that stuff and then can't catch the stupid sturgeon. Because like I said, it's the only fish up that way that we need to catch, and the reason I'll try and do that tomorrow is because of how much else we need to do in terms of the community center and actually going and getting the fiberglass rod. That'll cut into our fishing time, so instead of going to like the river where we got a bunch of different catch we need to try and catch, or down to the ocean for all those fish, we'll just go to the mountain lake, try and get that one fish knocked out, and then we can chip away at that list in the future. So, alright, it's 10 o'clock. We're going to head up, check the bat cave, and it's empty. And then we will go get that spiceberry. And I think that's going to end the day. We do have a little bit of energy left, but I think I just go back and hit the sack. I don't really know why I kept some of that other stuff in my inventory. Oh, unless it's just stuff that I still need to sell for the day, I guess. But we'll go down here. We have a tapper. We actually have several tappers, so we'll put a couple of these down in these trees that have grown up. And there you can see down there in the bottom right, those two trees right beside each other. So we'll see how those grow, or if they grow. I mean, heck, these ones up here at the top are like, you know, still seeds, for crying out loud. Not even saplings yet. What is the deal there? And at some point we'll need to take that small glow ring up to the Adventurers Guild and sell it. So that's on the to-do list. Wait, I just sold that aquamarine, but did I already donate one of those to the community center? I feel like I may have, and that's why I just sold both of them. But anyway, y'all, that is going to do it for this episode. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Like this video in particular as well, so click that little button. And then comment below if there's anything that you want to mention, or if you have any feedback around the plans once the 1.5 update drops. Let me know what you think will work out best there. So that is going to do it for this episode. Everybody, y'all have a good one, and we will see you next time.